guys, it's Joe. Welcome to the Cat Scrappiness March release, day 1. Today's project, I'll be using the Crafter's Essentials 1 die set. I'll be using the rectangle die and then the 3-window frame. I'm using the brush script Easter Blessings sentiment die, the He is Risen die, mainly the grass border. I'll also be using the Wonky Wavy Stitch rectangle dies and then the grass hill on the Crafters Essentials Easter edition. And then the newest stamp set we'll be carrying is Build a Bunny stamp set, and also the new sprinkles, carrot sprinkles. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp the bunny images, and this Build a Bunny stamp set, it is going to be available in a 4x6 stamp set size. This one is just the prototype, but it will come with a large bunny and a small bunny. So I'm stamping both of those images with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So you could stamp the bunny on your project, or what I'm going to do is stamp the bunny and then fussy cut them out. So the stamp set comes with two faces for each size. So you get 2 faces for the large and 2 faces for the small. I picked the faces on both of these that are similar, which is like that half circle image there, and then it comes also with hands or paws. So here is the large paw, and then here is the small paw. For the large bunny, it does also come with the paws holding an Easter egg. So I chose just to keep these 2 images simple. And then now I'm adding the ear details. You could leave it without it, or you could add them in. So I'm going to stamp them on the images on both the large and the small. And then that's it. It also comes with collars on the large and small. So I'm just coloring it really quick with my Copic markers. I'm using B00, the frost blue, just to outline the bunnies. I'm going to be fussy cutting these images out, so I don't really need to stay within the lines. So now the belly, I'm using RV00, and that is water lily. And then for the ears and the nose, I'll be using R81 rose pink. And then I go back with RV00 just to add more detail to the belly of the bunnies. So that's pretty much it. And then now I'm gonna start to work on the shaker portion of the card. So I'll be using Broken China Distress Oxide ink, and I'll be making a cloud background, of course, my favorite background. So here I'm using the Broken China, and then I used a homemade cloud stencil. This is what I've been using on all my projects recently, and it's just the Lawn Fawn cloud dies that I cut out of cardstock, and I use that as my template. So the rectangle die from the Crafter Essentials 1 is stitched, and then also for the clouds I'm only going to do 2/3 of the rectangle because the bottom part is going to be covered anyways with a grass border. So yeah, so that is my cloud background. Really easy, really simple. I was debating whether to go yellow clouds or blues, but I chose blue. So lastly, here's my last layer of the clouds, and then I'm pretty much done with the background. So the card size I'm using is A2, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I used the large Wonky Wavy Stitch rectangle die, and then I cut it out. I used it to cut out some of this orange designer paper, and then it leaves like a little 1/16 of an inch border. So that is the base of my card, and then I'm going to start to assemble the shaker portion. So here I'm using the A2 Acetate Sheet from Cat Scrappiness on that 3-window frame there. Those are my bunnies that I cut out. And then here is a grass hill and then a grass border from the die set. Before I add the acetate sheet, I'm going to place the bunnies. The large one, I'm going to place it inside of the frame, but the head is going to be sticking out. So I'm just applying that with some dry adhesive. And then the grass hill is going to go right behind the bunny, just above where the window ends. So then I go ahead and adhere that. The smaller bunny, instead of being on top of the shaker window, I'm going to adhere it to inside of the shaker so that it is right on top of that grass hill. And then I'm just trimming off a little bit of the grass hill there. So that is where the small bunny is, and then I go ahead and apply some glue, some liquid, and some dry tape. Go ahead and place that cutie inside. And then lastly, I'm going to place the grass border on the front of the shaker window. And then it is a little bit too long, so then I go ahead and just trim that out with scissors. So here you can see I put it in front of the large bunny, and then the end I go ahead and tuck it in behind the frame. So then I go ahead and just trim that off, and then now it's ready for me to apply some dry tape, and then I'm going to adhere the acetate sheet to close off that window. For the more thinner portion of the frame, I'm just going to apply some liquid adhesive because the scrapbook tape is just a little bit too wide. So there is the A2 acetate sheet, and then I just trim off the excess there. So that's what it looks like. Then I just put a little bit weight so that the acetate sheet is completely adhered to that window. So off camera, I go ahead and add all the foam adhesive tape to the back of the frame, and then I'm going to be using the new release. One of the sprinkles are these carrot sprinklers. They are so cute, and they're not very bulky. They're pretty thin, so I really like that. So I go ahead and flip the front window of the shaker frame, and then I go ahead and put the carrot sprinkles inside, and then the base of the shaker, I'm going to flip it over, making sure it's the right side is facing down, and then I try to line that up as straight as possible so that none of the edges is really sticking out. So that is actually my completed shaker, and then I go ahead and apply that to the base of the card. I try to center it, maybe just put it a little bit towards the top because I will be putting a die cut sentiment on the bottom of that shaker frame. So here is the sentiment. It is the brush script Easter Blessings sentiment word die, and then I cut it out of yellow polka dot pattern paper, and then here is my liquid glue again, the Zig pen, and then I'm just going around the letters, tracing it, making sure I get all the little edges, and then I'm going to apply that on the bottom of the shaker frame. So it covers a little bit of the grass and the bunny, but I still like how it looks. So for the last detail, I get more of those carrot sprinkles, and then I just put one on each side of the sentiment. So that completes my card. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, the new release for today is that Build a Bunny stamp set, and it is going to be in a 4x6 package size. And then uh, we are releasing several sprinkles and sequins, so the carrot sprinkles is part of that release. So yeah, that is my card. Thanks for stopping by. I'll put all the links in the description box below. Thank you.